One thing I see constantly among Naruto fans is this discourse surrounding Sasuke's vow to restore the Uchiha clan and the utter disconnect between what fans think Sasuke meant by it and what Sasuke actually meant by restore the Uchiha clan, which is why in today's Naruto Explained video, I'm gonna break apart what Sasuke actually meant by restore the Uchiha clan, explain why fans got the concept wrong, and how the disconnect between Western fans and Asian culture plays a huge role in fans getting the wrong idea behind this concept. So in order to do this, we must first take a look at exactly what it is Sasuke said, because for the purposes of this video, it's going to be what we're going to deem the original sin of the Naruto fandom, because this is where the misinterpretation starts at. Sasuke says in the manga, "My name is Sasuke Uchiha. There are plenty of things I hate, but I don't see that it matters, considering there's almost nothing I do like. It seems pointless to talk about dreams. That's just a word. But what I have is a determination. I plan to restore my clan," end quote. A large number of Naruto fans, they took that line and they jumped to the assumption that Sasuke was talking about going through Konoha and using his brooding emo personality and dashing good looks to rizz up a bunch of women in Konoha when he got older and start busting nuts inside of them and having a bunch of Uchiha clan members running around with 20 different women having 4 to 5 kids each. After all, Sasuke was stated to be the last of the Uchiha clan at that point. So it's easy to see how many people just jump to that conclusion because they don't really know any better. This has led to a lot of the memes and the completely off the mark hot takes that you see on Twitter, TikTok, and especially Reddit, where people say Sasuke wants to restore the Uchiha clan, but he only has one kid, and that kid is a daughter who can't carry on his clan name. And so people are either saying Sakura don't got that wop, Sasuke might be shooting blanks since Sakura is so in love with him that she might give him as many babies as he wants. Then you have the opposite end of the spectrum where people are saying he was talking about the quality of the children. He had a child with Sakura, someone with insane chakra control. So the idea is that he was looking for a quality mate to have quality offspring with. However, the reason why this isn't the case with either of these lines of thinking is that we have to look at the context of what Sasuke was actually saying here and explain how people misinterpreted it. In the same breath that he mentions all that stuff, he also says there's a certain person that he wants to kill. That person was Itachi Uchiha. That's an important bit of context to leave out. Restoring the honor of the clan isn't about having children and repopulating the clan. It's tied directly to Itachi massacring the Uchiha, or at the beginning it was tied to Itachi massacring the Uchiha. But as we go further into this video, just as Sasuke's motives changed when he got new information, the goalpost of what it means to restore the Uchiha clan changed as well, but at no point was it to put a whole army of babies into Sakura's womb. It's important to realize that Masashi Kishimoto is building off of the Japanese concept of katale uche, which is the practice of blood revenge. Avenging the death of a father, a mother, a sibling is historically seen in Japanese, dating back to the Edo period, as being the responsibility of the youngest son, which in this case is Sasuke, and over the course of the story, he's doing just that, avenging all three. The parents who were killed by Itachi, and then avenging Itachi's death at his own hands, for which he blames the entire village. But we'll touch on that Itachi part later. Now, we're just gonna focus on the avenging of the parent by the hands of the youngest son, and all the samurai influences, which that should now make you understand why Sasuke has a sword in the second part of the story. As we all know, Itachi on the night of the Uchiha massacre did the unthinkable. He killed the entire Uchiha clan with the exception of Sasuke, leaving him as the sole survivor. The once proud and mighty Uchiha clan, on top of being one of the founding clans of Konoha, is also one of the 4 noble clans of Konoha. They're basically royalty to the Hidden Leaf village when you look at it from that perspective. However, in one night, this proud and historic clan that produced some of the most powerful shinobi in the history of the Naruto world, it fell all in one night. Their blood was spilled by one of their own. That initially is what Restore the Uchiha clan was all about. It was not about babies. It was about restoring the honor of the clan that Itachi had dishonored. So allow me to explain this even further. When you look all throughout Naruto Part 1, one of the things you see over and over stressed about the Uchiha clan was the fact that it was held in high regard, and the word proud was consistently used with their name. They were honored. Itachi, by massacring the clan, carried out a dishonorable act that stained the name of the Uchiha clan. You might be asking, how can the action of one man dishonor an entire clan? Well, this is where you have to have some understanding of Asian culture that comes into play, in particular traditional Japanese culture. Your family name is a major thing in those cultures. The abstract concept of the perception of quality and worthiness and respectability of a family, it can affect your social standing. Family and family name is one of the main main sources of honor. Family honor or dishonor can affect the lifestyle of the family in the form of social status, job prospects, marriage, and so much more. The honor of the family name is held in higher regard than your own perceived value as a person with your own individual freedom, because your actions don't just reflect upon you, they reflect upon your family as well. Think about how many anime you probably watch where one of the characters is stressing about the exam. It isn't just because education is important, but it's because of academic success is oftentimes viewed as a source of pride and honor amongst traditional Asian families. A good student reflects well upon the family and a poor student doesn't. In feudal Japan, samurai would kill themselves if they were defeated in a battle in order to maintain the honor of their family, because being captured or living with the shame of defeat would bring dishonor to their family. It goes back to what I just said. Honor for the family comes before your own individual freedoms, your own individual desires, your own individual action. When Itachi massacred the Uchiha clan, he carried out a massive dishonor towards the clan. Killing your own brethren is an obvious no-no, but it runs deeper than that. In what was viewed as an unprovoked act of selfishness, he was viewed as having chose his own personal reasons and desires to test the limits over the lives of his clansmen, even going so far as to kill his own parents inside their home, going so far as to kill his lover Izumi Uchiha, which the Naruto Shippuden anime changed to Obito killing her. Itachi picking up that blade and killing the people of his clan, it hits harder when you realize that Itachi was literally next in line to be the next clan leader of the Uchiha. He was Fugaku's firstborn son, Fugaku, the man who led the Uchiha. It was expected of Itachi inside the clan and outside the clan to be the next clan leader to guide the Uchiha clan's next generation once his father stepped down as clan leader. In the eyes of the public, by killing his lover, the girl many expected him to start a family with one day, he tossed out the future of the clan. By killing his clansmen, he killed the very people he was expected to guide to the future. By killing his parents, namely his father, he killed the very expectations that were placed upon him at birth, out of selfish desire to escape those expectations that bound him to the clan. If you go back and you look at Itachi when Sasuke asked him, "Why did you do this?" Notice how Itachi uses the words, "I did it to test my own limits." Itachi made it a point to use selfish language. That goes back to those samurai themes that Kishimoto implements into Naruto. Even worse, he dishonored his village by weakening it by killing off one of the strongest clans in the village at that point in time. If not the strongest clan, depending on whether or not you think the average Hyuga can defeat the average Uchiha. So not exceptions like Neji and Itachi. Not only was Konoha down a major fighting force, but one of the last vestiges that linked them to the founding of the village itself was now destroyed. He dishonored the history of his clan, and he dishonored his village. He erased the clan's future and cast a bleak shadow over the village's future with this very act, and now with so many dead Uchiha, the Sharingan Kekkei Genkai could not be passed on to future generations. In particular, if anything happened to Sasuke, that would be it for the clan. Honor to one's clan, the Uchiha. Honor to one's village, Konoha. Honor to one's country, the land of fire. Itachi had spit in the face of all of that by killing the Uchiha and walking out of the village with a bloody hand, gripping a blood-stained katana, selfishly walking towards the future with those blood-red eyes that shine into the darkness at anyone who meets their gaze. That is how the public viewed Itachi Uchiha. That is how Sasuke for a time viewed Itachi. However, we as the audience knew the truth that Sasuke would learn in Naruto Volume 43. All those years that Sasuke spent training to get his revenge, the nights his hatred for Itachi kept him awake late at night, it was all misguided. Itachi hadn't dishonored the clan. The clan had already dishonored itself by plotting a coup d'etat attempt at the village that would have led to an invasion of the Land of Fire by another country, likely the Cloud Village. Given by this point in the timeline, there was still resentment over the Hyuga incident, where the Hyuga clan's top ninja attempted to steal Hinata and gain both the Byakugan from her eyes and eventually the Byakugan Kekkei Genkai when she became of age, and likely betrothed to an elite Cloud Shinobi so she can have kids with them. That way the Cloud Village would have Hyuga of their own. And the 4th Raikage was one of the last Kage to form a treaty with Konoha to end the fighting from the Third Ninja War. In reality, the much maligned and hated Itachi Uchiha had actually saved the honor of the clan by massacring. In a poetic twist, Itachi had actually done the honorable thing by saving the clan clan from itself. He alone bore the hatred for his decision. By taking out the Uchiha on the night before the coup, Itachi would prevent them from an even greater dishonor than the one that he would carry himself. It would be worse if the Uchiha, one of the founding clans of Konoha 50 years after Madara fought against Hashirama, if they would have turned against the village that their clan helped found, and on top of all the bloodshed that would have come from the Uchiha clan's coup d'etat attempt, it inevitably would lead to a land of fire, eventually falling as other villages would come to a land of fire to pick at the bones of what was left behind after the Konoha Civil War. On top of that, the clan would bear the shame of starting what would be the Fourth Ninja War if that was a result, with villages battling to lay claim to the Uchiha clan Kekkei Genkai, and most importantly, the land of fire and all the valuable resources there. Itachi saved the clan from itself, and by Itachi setting the stage for Sasuke to kill him, Itachi had hoped that Sasuke returned to Konoha celebrated as a hero, with the honor of the clan restored by Sasuke killing him, and in order to ensure that was a reality, he went as far as to have Kotomatsu Kami implanted inside of Naruto in the event that Sasuke took his eyes. He could guarantee that Sasuke would not only be a Konoha shinobi and continue to rebuild the honor of the Uchiha clan, but it would also be Itachi's eyes that gave Sasuke the Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan, the greatest power that the Uchiha clan can achieve solely through their Kekkei Genkai, and use that power to protect the village, potentially with Sasuke being a Hokage one day. Sasuke, upon realizing what Itachi had done and what the clan had done, how he'd been lied to his entire life, that goal of restoring the Uchiha clan had now shifted. It went from killing Itachi to restore the Uchiha to Sasuke wanting to kill Danzo and the elders for the position they forced a 13-year-old Itachi to be in, where he had to choose his village over his clan, over his own family, and walk the lonely road of being branded a dishonorable criminal who would ultimately be killed by the very little brother that he spared. That's why the battle with Danzo had to happen narratively. Danzo was not just someone who aspired to be Hokage and was one of the elders who forced Itachi into the actual position to massacre the clan, but at the time he was the acting Hokage, handpicked by the feudal lord, only needing the formality vote of the Jonin Council, which again is a formality vote. Danzo was going to be 6th Hokage because the council was not going against the feudal lord who pays the bills for their village. Danzo represented the village, but he also had in possession not just one Sharingan hidden beneath his bandage, but also an entire armor Sharingan. Despite what a lot of fans still think, those Sharingan did not come from the Uchiha massacre, which we can discuss in another video, but his response when Sasuke questioned him as to the answer of where he got those Sharingan from, he simply said that the answer would upset Sasuke even further, and it's a really good narrative to be the fuse that lights Sasuke. Danzo, the man mostly responsible for the Uchiha massacre, dared to walk around with multiple Sharingan in his possession, the spoils of war that he could show off to someone like Sasuke, who wore the very crest of the very same clan on his back. Sasuke, the very last surviving son of the head of that clan. Just as Naruto needed to face Nagato and deal with the Deva Path and the body of one of Jiraiya's first students, the Deva Path Yahiko and Konan and Nagato, they were a link to Jiraiya that needed to be overcome to start Naruto towards his final arc. Sasuke needed to do the very same to Danzo, the man whose hands were directly clean from killing the clan, but figuratively they were stained with the blood of the Uchiha. However, killing Danzo, it wasn't enough. Making a plan to kill the elders, that wasn't enough either. Sasuke got a taste of killing out of justified vengeance, and he wanted to take it a step further. He wanted everyone inside of Konoha to die. Restoring the Uchiha clan's honor had shifted from killing Itachi. Restoring the Uchiha clan's honor had shifted from killing all the elders who forced Itachi to massacre the clan. Now restoring the Uchiha clan's honor meant killing the villagers, those innocent and ignorant of what had transpired between the clan and the village and the politics behind it, and the manipulation that Danzo used to turn parts of the village against the Uchiha to suspect the Uchiha clan as playing a part in the Nine Tails incident. To Sasuke, the reason for even making the entire village bathe in blood and feel the wrath of his anger and hurt is because he views the Uchiha clan as needing to be restored by destroying the very village that stripped the Uchiha clan of their honor from the Nine Tails backlash, where manipulated villagers were blaming the Uchiha clan for the actual massacre to the village elders who led the village and basically greenlit the Uchiha massacre, or they would have supported it had they known it was going on. And even after being made aware of what the truth was, they did nothing to make things right. Sasuke viewed that as restoring the honor of the Uchiha clan. His dialogue to Kakashi and Sakura proves this to be the case, where he says that he has a high that he's never felt before, like he was finally cleansing the Uchiha clan name of the stigma that had dogged it for years now. That was Sasuke by his own words saying, quote, "I'll revive my clan," end quote, from the actual 5 Kage summit. It was now about doing away with the violence of the clan's past, the disgrace that they faced, the shame that they felt, the stigma that was attached to them, and his way of doing so was ironically by shedding more blood through the concept of blood revenge as the youngest son of not just Fugaku, but now the youngest son of the entire Uchiha clan as the sole survivor from the Konoha Uchiha. Sasuke was so steeped in his own hatred and darkness that those Sharingan eyes of his, which are known for their increased ocular precision, they couldn't see the contradictory nature of his goal to restore the clan. In fact, he now reached a point where he himself was beginning to be the very opposite of the very thing he was trying to restore, which is clan honor. He was behaving selfishly at this point. Nothing was ever good enough to satisfy his own desires. It was all hidden under the guise of restoring the clan's honor, and to a point it got to where he flat out stopped discussing restoring the Uchiha's honor. It became about making everyone who played a role in making Itachi's life miserable, and by extension making Sasuke's life miserable. Sure, you can jump through the mental loopholes to still connect the honor of the clan back to the original goal, because had Itachi not been forced to get into that position in theory, it would have never actually happened. But Sasuke never at this point in time placed any accountability on the Uchiha clan itself. He never did what Vegeta did, a character who Sasuke is constantly compared to. In Dragon Ball Super's manga, when Vegeta learns that Beerus ordered the destruction of his race, Vegeta gets angry for a moment, they fight, and then he eventually concedes that the Saiyan race, due to their own choices, were headed towards their own destruction, just as the Uchiha clan were doing the same, going that route via the coup d'etat attempt. Sasuke's logic was so warped and so twisted that even someone like Naruto could see that despite Edo Itachi trying to talk sense into him, despite Sasuke having literal dead Hokage speaking sense into him, despite the conversation he had with the floating space boogers of the Sage's Past, the godfather of all shinobi, even someone as low IQ as Naruto could see that Sasuke was blurring the line between anger and insanity. He was close to becoming a soul too tainted to be saved, and yet Naruto did just that, and that realization isn't lost on Sasuke, which is why he still feels a degree of shame for his past action, and makes it a point, according to the Naruto Retsunden 7th Hokage in the Spiral of Destiny story, to take his daughter Sarada to the Uchiha monument inside the village, which you can actually see in the manga when you read the chapters where Sasuke's training Boruto in the first arc. Sasuke takes his daughter to that shrine according to that Naruto Retsunden story, which I've covered from start to finish here on the channel, and he's slowly speaking to her about the clan so as to make sure that the clan doesn't fall into dishonor again. And that's a big part of the reason why he supports his daughter's dream to become Hokage. That is ultimately what will restore the honor of the Uchiha clan. That is offspring, someone whose fear of the hatred from the Uchiha clan can rise above the history attached to the clan, from the secret history of Fugaku's coup attempt to Itachi's perceived crimes to Sasuke, Obito, and Madara, each starting at the center of the last ninja war, and Sasuke being on a lifetime probation because of his actions as a rogue ninja, and starting the war on the side of the Akatsuki. Sarada represents a tabula rasa for the entire clan, a blank slate. She can make history as she becomes the first Uchiha to be Hokage. You've heard me say countless times, so much of Masashi Kishimoto's writing is permeated by Japanese culture, Japanese religion, Asian folklore, to a point you gain a deeper understanding for the way that he writes as an author. It's part of his author voice. It's the very thing that makes his writing different because of how he interprets those things. This is no different. I could go a lot further on the subject of blood revenge and how Kishimoto in part 2 of Naruto's story incorporates quite a few samurai elements into his writing, which ironically is the portion of the story that introduces literal samurai into the story. But I don't want to go any further because that's a video in of itself. This will be the first of a few video essays that I have planned, including a follow-up to this video regarding who was right or wrong in the Uchiha clan and the Konoha dynamic. But in the meantime, check out these other video essays here on the channel.